Hey, gang, we are in Mexico and we are in Playa del Carmen, right off the main highway here. We are at the Playa del Carmen Cemetery. We're going to have a look at the cemetery. Different look, something we haven't seen before, although it's very reminiscent of New Orleans or Louisiana or the South. It looks like, and I haven't walked this, it looks like everything is above ground here, but very animated. Look at this. Like I said, I have not scouted this out yet, but I did look on Google Earth, and it's all pretty much like this. Now, there's something interesting in the center that I want to check out. I wasn't able to tell from Google Earth, but look at these are like little houses. And maybe this is typical here. Those of you from here will probably laugh at me and say, "Oh yeah, this is how it is here." Look at that one over there. Let's take a look here. Look at it. You can look in the window. Boy, oh boy, it's like mini mausoleums, right? But I believe this is for ashes. This is for cremains. Boy, I'm sure we're going to find some interesting. We've already found some interesting things here. So I got here a couple of days ago, and I'm going to be now. Playa del Carmen is about, I'm going to say, an hour drive south of Cancun, Mexico. Many of you know of Cancun, and plan on going to Cancun, but to do a cemetery maybe too, but it's a little sketchy from what I've checked. The cartel, there's a lot of cartel activity here in Mexico, and many of the big tourist areas especially, you've got to be careful. So going into a cemetery with a camera, maybe a little, could be considered disrespectful, I don't know. So what I'm going to do is we're not going to use the gimbal. I'm going to be going actually with, I'm going to be very discreet, as discreet as I can be. And I'm going to be bringing with, I've hired 2 security agents who are armed with handguns, not to like huddle next to me, but they'll be they'll be my satellites, just in case, you know. What are the odds? The odds are probably 1 in 100, 1 in 1,000 that I'd get hassled or anything. But Jesus, just Matamoros, you saw what happened a month ago. Americans kidnapped. So I certainly, it's more for peace of mind. So don't worry, I will be covered. And I think I'm going to be doing that tomorrow. And I'll run it right after this. Maybe a part 2, maybe a part 3. For sure a part 2. Look at this. Like this one over here, it almost looks like a little ship, a little boat. And they're all crammed in here. I'll bet this cemetery's full. I'll bet you cannot get a spot here. I was looking on Google Earth. If you look, you can look it up. It is wall to wall. Let's go exploring here under the branches. Get low, get low. Look at that. Well, just like back home, many people have been forgotten. You can just imagine. I hear the doves. When the doves cry. Boy, oh boy. It's kind of a typical thing here. Tile. Well, I shouldn't say cremains. I mean, this is where they're at, down here. So these are tombs. These are vaults. I'm sure they're completely sealed in below. Isn't that interesting? Miguel Garcia. Wow, there is a lot to see here. I wasn't expecting this actually. The distinction between all of these. Here's an old one that's just empty. There's some nice artwork here. Signed by a family member, maybe. Cast iron crosses. Look at this one. Halloween, maybe. All right, let's make our way this way. Down the corridor. Nobody in here, guys. Nobody in here. Just us. Watch your step here, guy. And they do have some pictures. Jesus Martinez. You can see back there. He's here. Catholicism is very prevalent here in Mexico. Well, let's go this way. This is kind of around where I saw some structure from Google Earth, and it may be nothing. What's good is I don't see any open crypts, so it is maintained. I guess you would call it perpetual care, right? Beautiful in here. It's just very serene. And I'm sure we're going to find a lot more of this in Cancun to the north. I'm sure this is pretty typical. Armando. Nice picture of Arturo. Passed in 2013. All of these names and faces. Look at all the colors. Boy, they don't hold back here. Death is celebrated as life is celebrated. Well, I'm looking for a corridor to get out of here. Pretty tight. Let's find an opening maybe up here by this tree. Yeah. No. It's like a dollhouse over there. Let's go check that out. I mean, they're all so interesting. You could stop at any one of these. Kind of a little overwhelming. Oh yeah, here's a fancy one. Probably 2 or 3 folks buried here, or interred here, I should say, not buried. Look, it even has, like, a house has an address. Cherub. With these flags. Isn't that pretty? I really like it here. This is just, I don't want to say a happy feeling, but it's not so somber and sad like our cemeteries, which I like. I love our cemeteries. Can't really. Let me see if I can get a close up here. All right. Well, I don't see any names here. Let's double check. No, just an address, 2489. Look at that. Now there's a tree. I keep looking for a way to the right, but I keep getting magnetized to the left and everywhere else. Kind of, again, overwhelming. The little portal back there. What's in the portal? Let's look. It said temporarily closed on Google Earth, so I was afraid when I got here that the gates would be closed, which I would understand, you know. But I think the people here respect the dead much more than in the States, United States, and possibly other parts of the world. And I say that because we respect the dead, but we have our ghouls and desecrators. I'm sure they have them here, but I have to, you know, they're very religious here. And I have to believe that the bad people, I'm betting this kind of scares people away. The cemeteries, I bet they, you know, because of the curses and the spirits. I'm just saying it's not any different, but other than that, I think they believe it more and it dissuades them more. Wow, this is just incredible. Look at over here. It looks like an arcade, like a pinball machine. Not far from Tulum. I don't know if you guys have been down here. If you come to Mexico to see the Mayan ruins, if you will. Actually, they're not ruins. They're pretty well preserved. Chichen Itza, Tulum are amazing places to go. There's an inscription up there. This is just all handmade. Look at that. But this looks very Mayan. I've been to Chichen Itza. I really enjoyed it. Chichen Itza, it was, I'm going to say, gosh, um, 25, 30 years ago, maybe, was the over 30 years ago, first time I went, and you could just run loose in there. I had an old Sony video camera, and it was so hot, the whole thing just turned off, wouldn't come back on. I was so frustrated because there was so much to see, but you could go in all the pyramids and all the structures. And I went there a couple of years ago, and you can't go anywhere, and it's mobbed. And it's all these people selling stuff, you know, the bazaar, and it's just completely different now. I think it's kind of ruined. Wasn't it Justin Bieber that went in there and took a leak and got caught, and it like created a whole hubbub, which it should have. Disrespectful little American. Truck driver here. Let's take a look. Porfirio Chinas. Passed in 20, so just 3 years ago. Not even 3 years ago. A lot of doves. Look at this temple. Some of these are like temples. All of this, and then you come here and there's a little house. Now we got glare. Hold on, let's try from this side. Oh, I don't want to step on this. Raphael. A rooster. All right. Yeah, there's so much glare. Maybe you can see here. Try one more spot here. Peeking around the corner. There we go. I like it when there are pictures, like our ovals. Gosh, where do we go from here? This place, by the way, is absolutely massive. I think that's a caretaker's house over there. I'm just going to head, this is like a little central plaza up here. Let's head that way. Now, these are all plain, maybe much older. I don't know. Boy, I could do 20 episodes here. This is endless. Oh, this is sad. Look at this. Almost looks like a fish tank here. Just broken apart. Hope somebody comes back. Hernandez. Yeah, it's the caretaker's house. Let's go this way. Oh, actually, there's some people over there. I'm gonna keep. Let's stay on this side. I want to stay away from people, except for you guys. All right, we're backtracking here. We're going back to the pinball machine, and we'll go deeper in. The sun is rising. It's about 7:45 a.m. Beautiful morning, like almost all the mornings in the winter. Our winter. All right, let's see what's down this way. You're going to be seeing this a lot later than when I'm shooting it, because I did 35 episodes in Texas, New Orleans, Louisiana, Florida, South Carolina, Alabama. That's going to run till May. So this stuff will follow. Sorry, because right now it's end of March. Towards the end of March. Oh, there's a nice picture. Beautiful woman. Let's have a look. Looks like she passed young. Maybe that's a picture of her when she was younger. I don't know. Natalia Zapata. She passed in 2013. Yeah, fairly young. Born in 83. Oh, so sad. You just wonder what happened. I'm sure you guys could look her up on Find a Grave or Ancestry. I don't know how much Find a Grave. Find a Grave is crowdsourced, and that's a big thing in Europe and the U.S. I don't know in Mexico if they're crowdsourced. If they're doing a lot of Find a Grave. I'm interested to know how she passed away. If anybody has time. Deb, are you listening? Ancestry. Shout out to Deb, our Ancestry helper, and Ashley and Ellis, moderators in Facebook. Get on our Facebook, guys. We have a Faces of the Forgotten Facebook. Also Instagram. Sounds like I'm advertising. The only thing I'm going to advertise here is when my book comes out. Pretty soon. No advertising, other than the YouTube crap. Sorry about that, guys. Got to put up with some of that. Nothing's for free. Wow, here's an extensive house. They're all like houses. Pretty cool. I think signifying home, gone off to heaven. And these are their new effigies of their homes. Look at this one, even has the clay roof. What's in there? I want to look in. Is it crucifix? Not much else. That one's open over there. Look, this is huge. But just definitely forgotten. Passed in 2007. That's not that long ago. And there were statues here, and they're just bashed off. How sad. Wonder what the deal is. I think this is a public cemetery. Government's funded, I believe. Another thing we can check into. All right, let's go. Okay, guys, we got a choice. We can go down that way, or I see a really interesting statue over there. Let's go. Let's go the hard way. Ouch. Oh, I just hit my shoulder. You gotta watch the sharp edges here. Now let's go this way. Look at that. There's some wonder what's going on up there. There's like ruins where the people live there. Oh no. Like I said, very peaceful here. I'll watch my step. Trade winds are blowing. Typically a good breeze here. Cancun. I think my favorite spot here, guys, is Cozumel. I don't know if you've heard of Cozumel, the island just off the coast. Oh my gosh, there's a hotel there where many, the boys just love it because the snorkeling, literally a coral reef right at the hotel off the beach. Get your mask and you are swimming among big fish and stingrays and things. Cozumel. All right, guys? Now, look at this. This is the statue I was talking about. So that's Catholic. Oh, it has like a door where you can go in. Huh. Now here's a wide corridor. Let's go this way. So here we have the crypts. Oh my gosh, look at this. Well, here's a very fancy kind of a mausoleum with vaults inside, but look at this. It's like a barn. Have you ever seen anything like this? Very creative. That's what I'm going to say. They're very creative here. This is about creativity. And for a Catholic, if this is a Catholic cemetery, I think this is municipal, but back home, especially the Catholic cemeteries, it's rigid, rigid, rigid. You cannot do what you want. Lucky if you can put pictures there. Beautiful. That looks like 1950s, 1940s maybe. There's no information on when she passed or who she is. But these are the crypts reminiscent of New Orleans, but modern style. Maybe cremains, right? Or maybe, I don't know, maybe these have the, oh, this is so tough. There's so much glare. Yeah, cremains, I see cremains in there. This is for cremains. You can see to the right of the picture. Oh, the dogs are barking. Sounds like a chihuahua. A chihuahua. Look at this. This is a balcony version. Never seen this before, but if you want that balcony view, this is what you do here in Mexico. Oh, that's sad. I see I'm going to try to put this up here. See what looks like a baby. Yeah. Oh, this is a child. Yeah, I went right by this one. Alejandro Ruiz, Axel Alejandro Ruiz passed in 2019, 06, 07, 2019. He was born in 2016. Cute little guy. Oh, gosh. I think it's the hardest of the kids. Little innocent ones. Here's another balcony. And we got some action in there. Oh my gosh, we got the creepy doll, guys. Mwah, right there. You see it? That's the creepy doll if I ever saw it. Where do you even buy that? Where? You can't even get that on eBay for Halloween. Sorry, I don't want to be disrespectful, but that is frightening. Kind of a different kind of picture there. Maybe that's the only picture they have, the little one. So you know what? This is just kind of realized that this area is all kids. Let's see. I'm trying to get out of the glare. All kids right here. Wow, where do we even stop? Let's go. Let's keep going. Why stop? I mean, if it, one thing about New Orleans is really cool, but after you walk those cemeteries, the stuff starts looking the same. I love it, but it starts like this. No matter where you go, it's all completely different. Like here's a 3-story over here. Hold on. Here. That blue one. See that blue one over there? Let's go check that out. It's like a multi-story. Look at that. Now here's a different, now in this section here, we've discovered, this has to be kids. Look at all these are like little tiny tombs, little vaults, concrete. Everything's miniaturized here, so this has to be kids, right? Maybe not. William de Jesus here. Well, see if we can find a name. These look much older. Yeah, I see one from 2002, passed in 2002. March to March, March 12th, March 19th. Oh, terrible. Yeah, look at this. All the babies, children here. Look at this one with the little door open. Little door, little translucent door. No names though on most of these, just numbers. You look at there are some on these crosses, they have the name. Just wonder if the families, they're coming back here at all. I mean, if you look at this one here, look how old that is. Well, they put rebar in there, that's good. They don't just pour concrete. It's very interesting to see the construction. This one's wearing through. Wonder what this is. It looks like oh, this is where they had a jar or a candle poured right into the cement. Look at the purple one. The cemetery is surrounded by a very high wall. You saw the gates, and there is looks like full-time caretaker. Maybe that's why I don't see any desecration or any, considering it looks pretty well maintained. Take a quick look at this. Kind of caught my eye. It's just kind of rudimentary. Little chapel there. All right, we are nearing, we kind of did a big circle. Gosh, everything's different. This is really, I think, great. They really take pride here. Each family creating their own memorial tomb. Look at this one. It's like 2 beds. Yeah, I didn't expect this, guys. Glad you could come along with me to explore. More kids. Look at all these tiny little vaults, little tombs. Yeah, and this place is completely filled up. There is no, unless you bought something 50 years ago, not getting in here. This, I haven't seen one open inch that I've noticed. All right, guys, I think that's going to wrap this one up. So I am going to sign off. Thanks for coming along. And tomorrow I am going to be going into Cancun. This stuff's all going to run a month and a half to 2 months after we're here. Sorry. Just putting things in sequence. And tomorrow's going to be a little sketchy, so I'll run the episode for Cancun. If I do one, I'm planning to do 2, but we'll just see, and I'll run it right after this one. Maybe this will be part 1 of 2 or 3 parts. All right. See you on the next one.
México lindo y querido, si muero lejos de aquí, que digan que estoy dormido y que me traigan aquí. Que digan que estoy dormido y que me traigan aquí. México lindo y querido, si muero lejos de ti.
Thank you.
Ay, ay, ay.
All right. Gracias, amigo.
Claro que sí.